Alright, it's video response time. Okay, Mike. I'm not sure exactly how to start this. I think that you need to figure out exactly where your feelings really are. If you live your life unhappily, as you said in your video, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. And even if you have to trade happiness in this life for happiness in the next, do you understand the consequences of that? I mean, will you really not be able to get to heaven just because you happen to be homosexual? I think everybody's asked that question a lot of times, and the thing is I don't know if anybody really knows the answer. But I know that you're LDS, and that your LDS views are very strong, and that your family's LDS views are very, very strong. But I want to know if having a sexual orientation makes you go to hell. You know what I mean? I don't think that homosexuality is any worse of a sin, if it is a sin, any worse than any of the other sins. I'm not trying to persuade, well, okay, I'm kind of trying to persuade you to think about it a little more, but the thing is I think you need to delve a little deeper into what the scriptures say is right and wrong, and I think you need to figure out exactly what you do believe. I'm not just saying what does the church believe, but what do you believe? I mean, what if it's not? And you've decided to live your life this way, and then you find out in the end that it was worth nothing. I'm not trying to scare you, and I'm not trying to, like, hurt your feelings, but I want you to think about that a little. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want you to know, first off, that your parents, even though they are your parents, are not always right. In fact, very often they're not right at all, just like everybody's parents. And second of all, you are 20 years old. You are going to be 21 years old. That makes you an adult. I think that you need to realize that and start being more adult-like in your thought processes, your choices. The opinions of your family don't impact you quite as much now as they used to when you were a child. I know that this is true for me. My family, I love them, but they're not always right. And I know they're not always right. And even if they try to convince me that they are right, I know that sometimes I am. They don't have as much power over me as they used to because I am my own person now. And the same is true for you, Mikey. You are your own person now. And you need to start thinking about it like that. You can get your own place. You can live somewhere else, even over the summer. I know that, I mean, it's not necessarily something that you want to think about now, but you could live in Tucson if absolutely necessary. And next semester, you could live on your own for the rest of your life now. I mean, you don't have to live with your parents anymore. You can get a job and get on your feet and start renting a place and living on your own. And once you're out of your family's grasp, you can start making your own choices without having to worry about the repercussions. You can choose to live your life however you want to, Mikey, and I think that God isn't going to condemn you because you're gay. I mean, I know that my father and I had this discussion earlier, and he says that being homosexual is a lust of the flesh, and it's simply a sin, just like every other sin. But, like I told him, if you could be straight, I think you would do it, because you're having such a hard time. I mean, if it would make your life easier, you wouldn't have to worry about any of these things in your life. You wouldn't have to worry about eternal damnation or the loss of your family or any of those things. And so I think that this is something it's not just a trial that God has put you through. It's part of your life, and it's like, I think a sexual preference, it's like picking between the colors red and blue. You know what I don't understand how it can be any worse than anything else, is what I'm trying to say. And so I can't understand how just because you're gay, you would be damned for all eternity. I want you to understand that if you choose one of these two paths, the man-eating plant or the tulip, if you choose one now, you can always go back and choose the other later, should you want to. And just because man-eating plants aren't accepted by your family and by some people doesn't mean that they are shunned by all people. And if you want man-eating plants, by God, have man-eating plants, Mike. I don't want you to have to settle for tulips, okay? And I think that you need to find out deep down inside yourself, but not just what the church believes, but what do you believe? Because what you actually believe is what's going to impact you for the rest of your life. And if you deny what you believe is true, you're going to pay for it later. And just because you go through the motions of being part of a religion doesn't mean that you're actually part of one. And I'm not condemning you in any way, I'm just saying that that's true. Mikey, I want you to know that all of our thoughts are with you, and that there's always another choice. No matter what. There's always something. Okay? But anyway, I love you, and everybody else loves you, and we're here for you, and if you need us, we can come. And we can get you, and we can find something to do with you. You're not a burden, Mikey, you're our friend. And I know that you're going through some trials right now. And I want you to know that I'm here to support you.